let's see. Brush this. And let me know if anybody is able to hear me. I did join my own on the computer, so that may be the one that's waiting currently. Okay. Seeing how much of a lag there is. Okay. So I thought I would try out a live stream. I think I've done this a few times before, but it's been a couple of years and I haven't tried it with my phone. So let me know if the sound is okay. And oh, went to 0, so that was not. Let's wait until somebody joins. I'll probably. Let's see. Okay, well, I will just talk to myself for now. Or let's wait actually until somebody joins. Actually, let's mess around with the camera, see what different options and the different things you can do when you are live streaming. Sketch, that's kind of neat. Look at that. Ooh, that is harsh. So different filters. There's the chat. Let's do live chat. And let's see, what other options do I have? Oop, don't want to stop the stream. It's the wrong button. And welcome to the single person that has joined. I'm trying to learn how to stream on here. This will be the first time with this camera, or with my phone actually. And I just thought it would be a fun thing to do. Right here I have kind of my everyday carry rotation sorted out. So you can look at that, and I'm just kind of going through the settings on my phone now. If there's anything you're wanting to see, or if there's any issues that you're seeing, like the audio, video messing up or something like that, let me know. This is all going to be kind of experimental. Or if you want to know about any of these knives, any other knives that I have access to basically every knife that I've kind of shown. So just let me know what you want to see, or if you want me to talk about the knives I carry most, least. But yeah, this is really the ones that I go through. I'm just kind of going through the settings currently. Let's see when the last time I did stream on YouTube. It's probably been a couple years at least. Content and live. Yes, the last time was 2017, so it's been a while. So let's just go through these knives right now. We have the Microtech SOCOM Elite. Used to carry this knife a little bit more than I do now. This is the chisel ground version from, let's see, 2012. Picked this up from Knife Works at Blade Show. The thing that I don't really like about it is that it uses the proprietary hardware, so you can't adjust that pivot. But I love the SOCOM Microtechs. Next would be an Emerson Wave Endura. Uses VG10, which I've been a big fan of. Easy to sharpen, and a decent knife. I actually use this one a lot when I'm out mowing the lawn. You can cut up weeds and that type of stuff pretty easily with that. Cold Steel Broken Skull. This is the one with CTS XHP steel. I think they've switched over to S35 VN now. Stephen Austin knife. A Willem Steenkamp custom. This knife was just an absolutely fantastic deal. Met him at, so he's a South African knife maker. Met him at Blade Show a few years back, and I saw one with a black bolster, brown G10 handle. He was selling, he only wanted like $240 for that knife. So I asked him, hey, can I make a custom order? I want a pocket clip on mine. His did not have a pocket clip, and he was like, sure, let me know what you want. And I told him these specs, and I think it was only like $240 or $260 for a fully custom knife. Prices have gone up considerably now, especially on a lot of South African knife makers' knives. I think there's a company that just sells South African knives, so prices have gone up considerably. Next is the Benchmade Auto Striker. I actually bought it with this tan coloring on it, tan spray paint probably. Just a great work knife. You can see lots of use on there. You don't really have to worry about wearing the knife down, especially if it has this much use. Plus, I think that looks great. Especially, originally the black handle, you can see like it breaking through. I like it. And let me see. I don't know if there's any comments. I missed my Auto Striker. Yeah. I absolutely love the Auto Striker. Let me, I didn't see your chat on. Okay, now I can see it on my phone. Yep, there we go. Yep, I love the Auto Striker. What happened to yours? Do you sell it or lose it? And then this is probably my most recent. Oh, you gave it away. Definitely makes a good present. So this is my latest everyday carry knife. This is the Emerson CQ, or not Emerson, it's the Dalton CQC7, basically modeled after the Emerson CQC7. It is chisel ground, and you can see two different color handle scales, and this is basically the condition that I bought it in. It looks like somebody tried to strip the anodization off of this handle, and it's still slightly that weird shade of maroon. I think I'm going to use oven cleaner to completely strip this aluminum on both sides. I think it would look better with just plain aluminum rather than kind of this blotchy coloring. And then I may have it like Duracoated or Cerakoted or something like that. I think that would look good. And I do like automatics to carry now. They are completely legal in my state, so Kentucky. So that is perfectly fine to carry and use. Next would be the Queen Cutlery Trapper. And this one I actually modified a few years back to have a flat grind. I was not a fan of how thick it was behind the edge. In Hawaii, no automatics. Oof. Yeah, I love my automatics. That's a big part of my collection. I'd say 75% of my collection is just automatics. So definitely won't be moving to Hawaii. But yeah, this is the Queen Cutlery Trapper. I didn't like the how thick it was behind the edge or the giant logo that came on them, so I just took it to the 2x72 grinder and reground it to a flat grind. Next would be the Emerson Horseman. Got this at Smoky Mountain Knife Works many years back. But really a fan of Emerson's, very comfortable in the hand. This is my only production Emerson that's actually made by Emerson. I have some made by Kershaw, Benchmade, and yeah, I think just Kershaw and Benchmade are the Emersons that I own. And then I have the CQC7 Flipper Custom, as well as the Apache Custom. But those are display knives. I don't carry those. Did I V-grind the edge? I did not. So you can see that that's well. So I never actually put a V-grind on it, but I did use a ceramic rod to get off the burr. So that's probably what you're seeing. But it doesn't actually have a V-grind edge. Yep. Next is the LA Police gear. This was their, I don't remember the name of the model. It has the S35 VN steel. They actually sent me this knife to review. So, haven't carried it too much. It's probably seen 3 or 4 days worth in the pocket. So, not a whole bunch of carrying. I do like the overall look and feel of it, though. Nice knife, but I do like some of my other everyday carry knives a little bit more. Next is the Spyderco Meerkat, and you'll see the reason why I like this one a lot. And that is the reverse S blade on there. Just fantastic for opening letters, boxes, all types of stuff. And then it uses the phantom lock, where you push the scale forward and you can close it. You can also open it like that if you flick your wrist, but not the easiest since it's not made to do that. Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Basically the knife that I recommend to anybody that's wanting basically the everyday carry knife, the Paramilitary 2. Never had a Paramilitary 3, although those are quite popular now. But this one has been a fantastic knife. So if I'm not going to be carrying an automatic, I normally go with the Paramilitary 2. I live pretty close to Ohio, where I think they're legal now, automatics are, but they previously weren't, so I would go with the Paramilitary when I went to Ohio. Next is a maple knife. So this was a brand that I discovered. M2 is such a great knife. It's getting overshadowed by the Para 3. I completely agree. 3.5 inches is really my favorite blade length. And I think the Para 3 is that right at 3 inches maybe? So I just think this is super comfortable knife, great in the hand. I love the Para 2. And then the maple knife, I have no idea what the brand is. Couldn't really find any information now about the company. But titanium frame lock, BD1 steel. And then I did kind of a heat anodization on the handle, or at least I tried to. Nice little knife. I overpaid for it. It was really right when I was getting into, like titanium frame locks. So bought it directly from the company. It's a Chinese company. Yeah, maple. So there you go. That is kind of the everyday carry knives that I rotate through. Really the ones that I carry the most is the Benchmade Auto Striker, the Dalton CQC7, and the Quint Cutlery Trapper are my current kind of go-to knives. If I'm not going to do automatics, then it will be the Para 3. And sometimes, if I'm going to go to an event with other knife people, then it's almost always Emerson, because if I'm going somewhere with other knife guys, I'll be wearing an Emerson shirt. So there you go. That is the rotation. Let me know if you're wanting me to talk a little bit more about any of these knives. If you want to see any of my other knives, mostly automatics, whether that's like the more modern automatics, I'd say from 10 to 20 years ago. I mostly collect discontinued knives. I have a lot of the Edge Coast style knives, as well as, yeah, that type of thing. So just let me know what you're wanting to see, and or if you're wanting me to talk about anything in particular. And let's refresh this just to make sure everything's working. Yeah, thanks for watching. Wadata 808. And it looks like there's a couple other people watching also. Feel free to join in on the chat. That's what this video is for. Just a discussion of different everyday carry knives, or any other knives that I have we can take a look at or discuss, or any recommendations on improving this live stream. Any of that is welcome. So how's everybody's day going anyways? I've been trying to think of video ideas recently, and really doing a everyday carry knife rotation was one of the ideas that I was wanting to get out there, as it has been a very long time since I've kind of discussed a lot of these knives. Well, I think I'm going to end this video. If there's nobody with questions or wanting to discuss particular knives, it was good learning experience for me. I'll probably try to do more of these live streams. I just need to kind of figure out the best way to do this. I was just wondering, have you ever carried a fixed blade knife? Gear Up, thank you for the question. I do. Let me grab a couple of them that I have carried. So we have the SE4 right here. One of my favorite outdoor knives. So that's really my go-to, like, bushcrafting outdoor knife. I'm not really an everyday carry knife. We have, let's see, the Fallen Even Fray is also one that I tend to carry a lot, but it looks like I don't have that with me. Let's see. No, I don't have the Fallen Even Fray, but here's one that I actually use and carry quite often, a little fixed blade. This is a knife by A.G. Russell, and that actually gets a decent amount of use. Tiny little fixed blade, but fantastic for cutting up food, opening letters, boxes, all that. You don't need that big of a knife to really be useful, and with how thin that is, that cuts better than a lot of my folders. So that one gets a lot of use. Really like the sheath on this also. Fantastic retention, and then you just press that up to release it. So like that a lot. But yeah, if I'm going to be using a fixed blade, it's usually SE4. And then, since I have long arms, I actually carry this upside down. Since it has good retention, it won't fall out. So I just put that upside down, and then I can put my thumb up or on palm and just push down, and I have the knife. You carry an SE Azula every day. It's a good knife. I keep one in my survival kit, since it's just a small knife. I don't know if you've seen my survival kit video, but yeah, that's my main fixed blade that I keep in there. It's been a great knife. You can do a lot of work with smaller knives, even though a lot of my everyday carry knives are the 3-inch plus. Even small knives, like this one, you can get a lot of work done. So, yeah, I definitely like SE knives though. Yeah, thank you for the question, by the way. So do you carry a folder as well, or do you mostly carry the SE Azula? Do you think of 1095 high carbon steel? It's fantastic. I've been very happy with it on. Well, that's one of the reasons why I carry the Azula, because, or not the Azula, the SE4. It's because I like 1095. I've made a few knives myself, and all of them have been, well, either 1095, 01, or 10, is it 1065 maybe? Maybe 5160. Yeah, I don't know. Hit the camera. Let's grab those. Oh, it's been a long time since I've actually shown any of the one that I've made. And it's been, I don't know how many years since I've made these. But yeah, I think that's probably 1095. And these are all using walnut handles. Very primitive, but just something that I've made. But yeah, I like high carbon steels. Really like when you can put like a forced patina on here. But yeah, I heat treat these myself, so you can see they're not exactly straight. And I did make these probably 5+ years ago. Blue and black G10 on this one. I like it, the chisel grind on here. Put a convex on one side, chisel ground on the other. And I actually did kind of a V edge on there. So just a very slight edge on here, and then the full convex on this side. So just try to experiment with different things. Something to do for fun. Convex on this one. Probably my favorite out of these was this. I just thought that pattern that I was able to get on there, I was probably destroying the steel. I used a forge to heat treat these. I was probably destroying the steel and melting it, and that's what gave this texture. But I actually like it. But yeah, thanks for saying it's nice work. I still have a lot to learn, and I don't really have. I haven't made any knives in probably that 4 or 5 years, but I thought it was fun. I have the equipment now, so it's just difficult because the grinders are in my garage. Just getting into Kydex. Yeah, Kydex is a lot of fun. I just bought a Kydex press from Knife Kits. So we'll see how that turns out. I've been wanting to make Kydex sheaths for a few of my knives. The Fall and Even Fray came with just an absolutely terrible leather sheath, so I'm wanting to make a Kydex sheath for it. Before I just had kind of those neoprene, just like neoprene slabs, and I'd like sit on top of it after heating the Kydex up. But now I have the press that I got maybe 2 weeks ago, so we'll see how that turns out. This is one of the Kydex sheets that I had made before I got that press. But I'm not used to having the camera in front of me. I always have it on the other side, so I apologize for that I keep bumping the tripod. So I think that's one thing. I'm going to have to throw it on the other side, make sure that I don't end up hitting it. So I'm going to put that one away. Let's go through some of the other knives I just have sitting around me. I'll put this back in the case here. So the case that I use is the Maxpedition Dodecapod. I believe that's the name of it. I've been a fan of it. You can see it, the fuzz from it does fall off, which I don't like. I made a pocket sheath for my Essie Azula. So for the pocket sheath, do you have like a pocket clip? Or do you have, like, does the Kydex sheath kind of fill up your pocket so that it stays in there? I've seen a few different style of, like, pocket sheaths for small fixed blades. Throw this one in my pocket. We can use that actually as the background. You have a Uta clip. I tried out. I don't know how I feel about the Uta clip. I think this is probably too small of one. The 2.2. Do you still have the Peter Carey? I remember you showing it off like 5 to 6 years ago. Are you talking about the Tory or the Mini Nitro with the tan? They made a video on it, the Uta clip. I think, did I comment on that video about the Uta clip? Let me see. Gear up. Let's see. For some reason, I'm not finding it. Gear Up. Can you put a link to that video? I'll have to see it, or I'll have to watch it. And let me grab that Peter Carey. I do still own a couple of them, a few Peter Careys. The orange one that I bought probably 10 years ago, I don't have. I do have, well, I'll just show you the ones that I still have. I think this is one. And I have this, it's a Peter Carey. Put that to the side. Okay, so my Peter Careys, I have this. It's the Production Mini Nitro. Pretty cool knife. But that is one of the newer ones. And I might get rid of that one just because I already own custom Peter Carries, so I don't really need a production one. This one would be the Tory, and this one is a Mini Nitro. I really miss that orange Mini Nitro, though. I loved that knife. So yeah, that is the tan Mini Nitro. And then this is the Tory. And this one, I was actually first pick of his lottery at Blade Show. Yeah, the orange and carbon fiber. That was a beautiful knife. That was my first ever Blade Show that I got that knife. And I was told to enter the Peter Carey lottery. I did not know anything about Peter Carey at the time. And I got drawn for it, got that knife. I think it was like $600 or something. Just a fantastic deal for a custom. And then I ended up selling it. But, I mean, that was 10 years ago. Can't really beat myself up over it now. Let's see if there's a way to focus. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the Tory. But yeah, this one I was actually the first pick at Blade Show. This was when they started doing the phone call. So they text you or call you at the lottery. But I was not at his table because I was like, okay, it's a phone call, so they'll call you, then you can go and pick up the knife. Well, so they call me and they're like, okay, where are you in the crowd? And I was like, I'm at my hotel room currently. So I rushed there. I remembered which one I wanted, or at least the model that I wanted. So I was like, can you just put that aside? I'll pay you as soon as I get there. And I was able to get it. So almost missed out on it. But yeah, that's a great knife. One of my favorites. And let's see what details. Oh yeah, so that was 2016. And then my dad had that same year actually got a Mini Nitro. It had the dragon spine, and I believe his was black G10, his Mini Nitro. But just a awesome, let's see how much, yeah. The prices definitely went up on later Blade shows. And then this one was a collaboration between Peter Carey and his son, I believe Kyle. I'm gonna take that out off screen to make it a little bit easier. And I believe they called this the Firecracker. And it has a little bottle opener on the spine. I believe Mass Drop, now known as Drop, I believe, was actually going to make a production version of this for their website. But DPX Gear apparently has a patent on having bottle openers on the back of fixed blades. So they ended up canceling that. And I don't think they actually make the Firefly anymore. Or it's not the Firefly, the Firecracker. Firefly is another model that's made, I believe, by Spyderco. It's a Peter Carey design, though. Nice little fixed blade. And these are actually pretty affordable. If you're wanting to get a custom Peter Carey knife, that would be a good option. You can probably get one. Let's see. Firecracker. Oh no, I can't find one right now. Firecracker. Yeah, like 225 around there. Oh, one's currently on Arizona Custom for 195. So you can get, that's a pretty good deal for a little custom knife from Peter Carey. Let's go ahead and put those away. But yeah, thanks for asking about the Peter Careys. I do miss that carbon fiber and orange G10 mini nitro. If you ever see it pop up for sale, let me know. I'd love to rebuy it. Yeah, let's grab some other knives that I've been looking at recently. So this is another thing I picked up from knife kits. It is like a knife protective webbing. So it's an interesting way of keeping knives safe. I like it a lot for this balisong. This is the Cold Steel Archangel. Bought this from a guy that... So Camillus was actually the company that was making the Archangel for Cold Steel. And when it went out of business, it sold all of its parts. And I got this from a guy that had a bunch of Camillus parts. So it doesn't have the latch, didn't have one of the screws. So since it doesn't have the latch, this definitely keeps it kind of together, this webbing. Let's put it back in there. And it keeps things from kind of hitting each other. I got this idea actually from the Dalton knives that I've purchased. It's almost identical to the webbing that comes with those knives, except for a slightly different color. You can see this. So this is the Dalton webbing, and that's from Knife Kits. Can't really see it on this camera very well, but it is a slightly different shade. And then you can get a larger size as well. You can see this red. But let's look at a couple of these different knives. So we already took a look at this. This was a knife that I used to carry that I don't really anymore. I think it's the EX01 by Hogue. I won that, or I was basically given it at Blade Show. Hogue has a bunch of giveaways, and I ended up getting this knife for free. I don't know why I don't carry it anymore. It's a good knife. It's really interesting, a great idea. It is, especially for knives that you don't have a box for or something like that. You don't want them hitting together. And this webbing is, you're still able to see the knife, and they're not going to get dented or anything like that. So it's really nice. It's much better than using like plastic bags, because this is not going to like hold moisture or anything like that. And it's much cheaper than getting a whole pouch like this. So the Hogue EX01, if you don't mind me asking, what knife are you carrying? The knife in my pocket, and that I've been carrying recently, is the Dalton CQC7. I like to use knives or carry knives that I actually buy used and already in kind of poor condition from other people. It just makes it so that it's so much easier to justify using hard, kind of cardboard and all that. So picked this one up in pretty used condition. So there we go. Just a fun knife. I'm wanting to get a new spring for it, but Rob Dalton actually custom made all of his springs, so you can't just put replacement ones in it. I found that out the hard way. Disassembled the knife, got a bunch of springs from Knife Kits, and then none of them would actually fit. The coil on the Knife Kit springs is like 25 degrees off, so if you want to put it in this knife, you're going to have to modify it. as well as shorten the part that actually goes into the blade. So I don't know. That does kind of make it harder if the spring breaks on these. And that's the thing that I kind of liked about coil spring automatics, is that you could just drop a new spring in versus leaf spring, where it's very difficult to replace the spring on a leaf spring automatic. But another thing I found out about this that I'm not a fan of is, see if you guys can see that. If you close the knife and push down really hard, or not really hard, but if you push down when trying to close it, it will actually start denting the inside of this scale. So it starts flattening the edge right there, just in that little spot, but kind of a flaw. But this is a 20-something-year-old knife. I think maybe 21 years. I think it was made in 2000. So, close that up. Oop. Sorry about hitting the camera again. Not used to having it in front of me. Okay, so some of the other knives I have out here, we have a Spyderco Worker. This is the first Spyderco design. Kind of an interesting looking blade on that. Very pointy. Couple that I got at Blade Show this year. These are the Turlu. Do I ever carry, or have I ever carried a bug out? I have not. I've handled the bug out. I'm not really a fan of the plastic, or what are they called? Are they called Grivery? Basically plastic handles. I haven't really been a fan of that. Tons of people love the bug out, but I don't know. I haven't been a fan of it. This is the Terzula. Me too, not a fan. Okay. Yeah. So I have two of these Terzulas, one with G10 and one with aluminum handle scales. It's a little bit of an older Spydercos. Are you a fan of Spyderco knives at all? What's your favorite brand? This is another Spyderco right here, which I probably should have a larger mesh, or I should use the red mesh since it's larger. This Spider wrench, which this is just, it's a fascinating design. It's, as you can see, a wrench. So you can have it in a few different settings there. You have the blade. This one's fully serrated. You have, so you can take these apart and you can actually use it as a screwdriver, so you can put bits on this side. Let's see. You can also make it longer. Let's see, how do I do that? Just like that. You can use this wrench also. Spyderco is probably my favorite. If I had to pick one and going off of what I carry the most, what Spyderco do you carry the most? Is it Paramilitary 2? It's my favorite carry Spyderco. Another feature of the Spider wrench is this little file here. I see in Buck Knives. Don't know how I feel about Spyderco. One of the things I like about Spyderco is they have a ton of different designs and they discontinue them. So they constantly make new ones. Yep, Paramilitary 2. That's the best Spyderco in terms of a carry knife. I've had a lot of people ask me what knife I would recommend for everyday carry. It's always a Spyderco or the Paramilitary 2. I have to get a drink of water. 1 second. And let's see, how do I close this? Right here. But yeah, Spyderco has a lot of neat designs. And I like collecting discontinued knives. So automatics and discontinued automatics are my favorite to collect. I do have some custom knives, but really it's been what I've gotten at Blade Show lotteries. And I actually did not get any, or really enter any Blade Show lotteries this past year. Gotta go, but it was nice talking to you. It was great talking to you also. Thank you for watching. Can you, what was the, I'm trying to remember, the Uta clip. I'll have to watch your video on the Uta clip gear up. So let me, did you put a link to that video in chat? Let's see. I did not see it, but let me see if it was caught by the filters. But thanks for watching. Oh, you sent me a link. Perfect, thank you. I'll watch it after this video. So have a great night. And so the other people watching, if there's anything you are wanting to see or want me to show off, let me know. And I will bring it out. Just putting this one away for now. Another person joined, so welcome to the live stream. I want to get a Spyderco Dragonfly for some reason. Never really been into knives that small, but it's calling to me. Yeah, let me see if I can pull out a Spyderco Dragonfly. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think this is a Spyderco Dragonfly. Small knives can be fun. Oh yeah, an orange one. Yeah. Orange knives are really good for if you are going to be in a location where you may lose it or drop it. That's one of the reasons why I picked up a orange SE4. Because when I'm out camping, if I drop that, I'm going to be able to find it. The blade is green, but I mean, that handle's going to stick out. So, yeah, I mean, they're neat knives. It would definitely go well in like the little watch pocket. But I do like small knives. In terms of Spydercos, I don't know if you've ever seen the Spyderco Mini Police. So it's modeled after the full-size Police Spyderco, but it's actually a necklace knife. It's smaller than a ladybug. It has a lock and all that, but just a very cool knife. I'm wanting to pick one up. They actually come with a silver chain. But those things are really neat. Small knives can be kind of cool in their own way. I have a few California legal automatics. Oh, you've never seen one? I don't think I can bring... yeah, well, I don't own one, so I can't show it on here. But yeah, look on, or just Google. I accidentally brought up. Phone's getting warm. So I think I may need to end this stream. I just got a notification that my phone is getting too hot. But yeah, definitely search Spyderco Mini Police. They are very cool knives. So anyways, thank you for watching. I'm gonna head out because my phone's giving me warnings. Um, I'll have to see if I can figure out a way to prevent that if I plan to stream going forward. So thanks for watching. Feel free to reach out on Instagram or anything like that. Always up to talk about knives and all that. So thanks, Stephen. Have a great night, and talk to you later.